Elise Slotkin. She went on The View. She's a new senator from Michigan. And I never heard of this person. You probably haven't either. But she's trying to make a name for herself because she's the newly elected senator from the state of Michigan. And she was on the same ballot that elected Trump because Michigan went for Trump. And she also got elected. So she's like, I'm the moderate. I'm the future. You guys are going to love me because you same people who put Trump in office and my friends in Michigan, and I do have a lot of them. Would you please listen to me, Michiganders? You elected an idiot. She's a nasty person. She is a nasty, nasty, hard partisan. And I realize you thought, okay, I'll put Trump in there and then I'll put this kind of moderate Democrat in. But no, she's not. She's just as hard partisan as the rest of them. This is no moderate. So she goes on The View this past week and decides to try to explain Trump and Trump voters, because she's from Michigan. She was on the same ballot. So she gets Trump. She gets MAGA. And here she was, I guess all of our spokesperson explaining all of us to The View. Listen.
Right. I think there's a feeling in the country. Yeah. I mean, I often say this, we're about to turn 250 years old, right? We're still pretty young for a country. These are our our angry teenage years, right? We are going through this push and pull where we're happy, we're sad, we want this, we want that. And what do you do when you have a teenager who's threatening themselves and others? You just try to get them through this period alive so that their brain can fully form and you can come back to kind of what
Are
a
you
country.
talking about Trump?
No, I'm talking about our country. We're pendulum swinging. We're pendulum swinging. And so for me, I think I don't think there's a single American who feels like this is normal.
Okay. Well, she's not talking about Trump, but this is not normal. Everything Trump's doing is abnormal. And it's because we're in our teenage years where our brain is not fully formed. So we're just suffering a temporary form of neurosis, of delusion, of insanity. That's our problem. We're just these mature idiots whose brains have not yet matured. But trust us, Elise, somehow she's got the magic that we don't have. Like, she's the mature one. She sees more than we do. She knows better. She knows better, okay? Like, we're the dumb kids who need to be controlled. We just have to, she's the patient parent. She's our daddy. I told you she was bad. Do you remember? She was the one who decided to try to strangle Pete Hegseth during his confirmation hearing. And unlike all the other women, she did not appear in those highlight rolls of like Mazie Hirono and Kirsten Gillibrand, the ones who were pummeling Pete and were like, ah! She did not. Because she doesn't sound like that. She doesn't sound like that. Ah! But she is just as annoying, probably more dangerous, and just as partisan. That's the thing I really want you to know, Michiganders. You did not elect a moderate. And anybody thinking about this person as any sort of a moderate needs to reassess ASAP. So for a couple of weeks or months now, I've been asking my team to put together these sound bites of that cross-examination she did of Pete. And they've done a great job, but they never got like all the pieces that I wanted. So I actually went back myself and all my free time this week, which I did have a lot of. It's only a 7-minute exchange. And I picked my favorites. I personally put this one together. It's a little disjointed, but you're going to get the feeling of why I dislike this person so much. And now this, I have my soundbite. We don't go over a minute unless it's like extraordinary. This one's 3 minutes. Trust me, you're going to get why I did it. Watch it.
I'm a CIA officer recruited after 9/11. I did 3 tours armed in Iraq alongside the military, and have worked for 4 different secretaries of defense, both Democrat and Republican, proudly. I'm also a Democrat representing a state that Trump won, right? We both won on the same ballot. Do you agree that there are some orders that can be given by the commander-in-chief that would violate the U.S. Constitution?
Senator, thank you for your service. But I reject the premise that President Trump is going to be giving illegal orders.
No, I'm not saying he will, but do you believe there is such a thing as an illegal order that Joe Biden or any other president, Donald Trump, could give? Is there anything that a commander-in-chief could ask you to do with the uniformed military that would be in violation of the U.S. Constitution?
Senator, anybody of any party could give an order that is against the Constitution or against the law.
So are you saying that you would stand in the breach and push back if you were given an illegal order?
I start by saying I reject the premise that President Trump will be giving
you've done your
any illegal
to him,
orders
but
at all.
This isn't a hypothetical, okay? Your predecessor in a Trump administration, Secretary Esper, was asked and did use uniformed military to clear unarmed protesters. He was given the order to potentially shoot at them. He later apologized publicly for those actions. Was he right or wrong to apologize?
Senator, I was there on the ground.
And
I saw the
I understand, and I respect that. Was he right or wrong to apologize?
I'm not going to put words in the mouth of Secretary Esper or anybody else.
He said them himself. You don't have to. What are you scared of? Did he do the right thing by apologizing?
I'm not scared of anything, Senator.
Then say yes or no. You can say no. Have you been personally involved in discussions of using the U.S. military active duty inside the United States?
Senator, I'm fine. I'm glad we finally got to the topic of border security equaling national security because it's been abdicated and ignored for the last 4 years.
That wasn't my question. And you're going to be in charge of 3 million people. The active duty that I know you care about, I believe you care about. So have you been in conversations about using the active duty in any way? Whether it's setting up in detention camps, policing dangerous cities, have you been involved in any of those conversations?
Certainly, I have been involved in conversations relating to doing things this administration has not, which is secure the southern border and not allow floods of illegals to enter our country through an invasion that threatens the American people.
Do you support the use of active duty military in supporting detention camps?
Senator, everything we will do would be lawful and under the Constitution, but I recognize that this administration has abdicated its responsibility. President Trump is going to restore order at the border, prevent our enemies from invading, and yes, he has said
Sir, I get your filibustering. I get it. I get it.
Part of what happens.
In the spirit of preserving the institution that I think we both care about, legitimately, the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
Thanks.
I've heard a couple of different things. One, you said you will not change the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which is what governs justice system in the military. Yes or no? You said that earlier.
Those are laws, Senator, set by Congress.
Okay, so you will not go to change it. You will not attempt to change it.
It's just so irritating. It makes my blood boil. I get that. Okay, you've done your genuflecting. You've done your genuflecting. What are you scared of? Then say yes or no. I believe you care about them. I believe you. I think we both care about them. We both care about the military. Sir, I get it. You're filibustering. Everything so pejorative, so condescending. You're genuflecting. You're filibustering. What are you scared of, you P word? But I totally have the same respect for the military as you do. I'm basically the same as you have. As you are. I went as a CIA analyst to Iraq to help with intelligence. And that's basically the same as strapping a gun on my back and going and actually having to shoot bad guys. So I'm one of you. I get it. I, Elise Slotkin, will acknowledge that you might actually care about the military. I have decided you might be sincere in that. F you, Senator. She's truly she's, I guess, a wolf in sheep's clothing. A partisan in nonpartisan's clothing. I'm not sure exactly how I want to say it other than don't trust her. Don't buy her little moderation act. And understand what you've elected. Because I think Michiganders genuinely believe that this would be somebody who possibly could work with Trump, who wouldn't have TDS, who could go to Washington and represent the people who don't hate him, who actually voted for him for president, but aren't necessarily Republicans or diehard MAGA, right? You made a mistake there, my friends. You had a great Republican candidate. You rejected him. That's fine. You could rectify it the next time around. And I really, really, really hope you do. You have the possibility of doing that now. And I really, really, really hope you make a better choice because this woman is nasty. She's a nasty person. The way she spoke to him about his military service, I will deign to tell you that your love for the military is real. I believe you. Who gives a shit whether you believe Pete Hegseth cares about the troops? Who gives a shit? How dare you say that to a man who's been deployed 3 times to Gitmo, to Iraq, to Afghanistan, and has laid his life on the line for his country? How dare you speak that way? And then get out there and talk to the rest of us like we're these know-nothing little teenagers. And that's the only reason why we voted for Trump, because our brains aren't fully developed. Long story short, Elise Slotkin, thumbs down. You don't go out and buy a life jacket when the boat is sinking. And you don't buy gold when the economy has already collapsed. Clearly, others are heeding this advice as gold hit all-time highs already this year. It's not too late for you, too. And you could have Birch Gold help you diversify into physical gold. Birch Gold specializes in helping you convert an existing IRA or 401k in whole or in part into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold, and for no money out of pocket. One recent 5-star review said Birch Gold was, quote, knowledgeable, helpful, non-pressure. Get your free info kit on gold by texting the letters MK to the number 989898. There is no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews, text MK to 989898 and let the experts at Birch Gold help you secure your future today with gold. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.